Big ass Tbull here. Today we got a game in the Suzuya for you. We got AL Otago. Want to highlight the second slot perk. I always talk about this, but we don't always show it. Chance of fire going up 8%. Main gun HE damage 10%. 10% incoming damage. So we got a kind of a high risk, high reward build. Kind of the highest damage output build you can really get for the Japanese cruisers here. Fault line, capture the base. We're going to be talking about fault line a lot. I'll try and remember to pin fault line guide in the comments for you. If I forget, just remind me in the comments. I'll get to it later today. But talk about fault line quite a bit on this channel. It's usually plays out pretty similarly. Here we're on the northwest side, so we're on the defensive side. We only have 2 ships. We got a carries on the other side of the map here. That means we should be expecting probably 4v2, 5v2, 6v2 over here. Same thing on the east. Red team on the southeast spawn. They should be expecting the overload there. But they spawn in. The blue team spawns in with that overload. Immediately, as soon as those ships pop up, they can engage 6v3. The guys in the south center take a little while to get over here. That's why there's a disadvantage. We talk about that quite a bit when we talk about this map. Here we got a destroyer, though. That's good. He's going behind the island. He's going to play in between that gap there. We got on the comms to say, okay, he asked for help. We said yes, just to make sure, because when he sees his turn on the map, he might be thinking, oh, God, this guy's going to go sail off all the way to the other side of the map. I better get out of here, too. So we want to make sure he knows we're playing over here. And we're asking him for intelligence. But by playing through this gap here, look what happens to him, and you'll see the play develop. Not a lot of room to disengage over there. You'd rather be playing towards the white line on the far right-hand side of the screen. You can spot all those lanes over there. Now he would have been close to the Ochkov, which would have sucked for him. But that's another matter. Here we got spotted before the Ochkov got in our blue detection ring. So we know there's a destroyer over here. So we have 3 ships accounted for. Nelson directly to the south of us, Ochkov over here, and then unknown destroyer. So any other ships that we see come over here during this game spawn in the south center side. So you can see how many ships tend to go over here. That'll kind of validate my point as the match goes up. Z23 briefly pops up there. Got a shot off. Ochkov are trying to disengage behind this island. We don't want multiple ships shooting at us. We want to pull forward. We're expecting torps coming at us this way. And Z23 pops up once again. We get another shot off here. Look at the damage. It goes from 7.8. We give him a nice hearty whack there. And now we're at 14.4. He's about half health right off the bat. And if I'm that guy, I'm going to be playing more conservative, more. Oh boy, look at these incoming shots. That could have been a kill shot right there from the Nelson. Good job recognizing the play that was developing over here and slamming on the brakes. Almost ended the game. But getting back to that destroyer, once you lose that much health that early, you got to play more conservative, kind of around your ships. You don't want to be isolated. So that's what I'm assuming he's going to do. And then we're going to disengage here. We lost our destroyer. And our job over here, when we're on the weak side, and again, we're getting overloaded currently. We know 3v1, and here's some torps, so we can assume 4v1, and there's going to be another cruiser over here as well. So 5v1 it ends up being, and the 6th ship will come by even later. So this is what you got to expect. What we're trying to do, slow them down. Okay, we don't want them to have free access to this base. We want to do damage. We want to slow them down. We want to let our strong side over there on the east, give them enough time to win that side decisively, and then they can make the decision. Do we go for the base, or do we get back and defend? Usually you'd want to send some ships to attack the base and some back to defend. But they can't do that if this side overruns us. And since we're the only one over here currently, we're going to need some help. We've asked for that Suzuya, I think, to come over here. And we can see on the map he's actually coming to help. So that's quite appreciated, because otherwise we're going to have a hard time over here. Loading in the AP. We got a quick reload on the Suzuya, and we're looking on the map saying maybe these guys might come around broadside. Maybe we can catch them with a surprise shot. We're located. We're spotted. I'm assuming we're getting spotted in between the York and the Ochkov, because once again, that's where I would have put that Z23. But there's other options as well. And here we're going to see a Vok actually show up. Now, when I'm playing this game, I'm reading this play as, okay, the Vok was the one spotting me initially. But looking at it more closely here, you know, he just came through that gap. It's not likely it was him. It was actually likely that the Z23 is off to the right-hand side of the screen. Wasn't aware of that when we're playing. A lot going on over here, obviously, but we could be doing a bit better job trying to read the play. Ochkov coming around broadside, though, once again. AP is the order of the day. And we're going to go ahead and give him a whack. Let's see what happens here. He's about 80% down to about 60%, so not a bad shot there. He's angling in, so we'll discharge this load on him, and then we're going to go ahead and switch to the HE. And HE would be valuable here as well, because we can expect You know, there's the Vok. We expect 1 destroyer, and if we're reading the play better, we're getting 2 destroyers. Here comes the Suzuya, kind of taking the heat off of us, and you can see he's sailing broadside in front of them. They're all going to start shooting him, but look at this combined firepower in the Vok here. He's in trouble here. You don't want 2 close-range Suzuyas shooting you when you're in a cruiser that has no, or a destroyer that has no smoke. It just doesn't work. So here we pile on, and the Vok goes down. Okay, so look at this. Ochakov did not learn the lesson, still broadside. Go ahead and switch back to the AP. We're going to, once again, keep that HE in this play, especially if you recognize, you see those torps that just came from the right-hand side of the screen? Another clue were the destroyers that we missed playing. But, you know, we want to kind of favor the HE, especially if you know the destroyers are there, until he presents themselves as broadside. And then we're going to go for the big damage. Looks like he's scraping on the side of the island there. Might be letting the crew off. Abandoned ship. We're going down. You guys get on the beach. The ship's done. And that's exactly what's going to happen here. Piling on, opening up our angle a little bit, making sure we get full firepower, risking a little bit of incoming damage, but that's okay. Down he goes. And we remain spotted. Now that number 1, the targeted icon just dropped briefly. I'm paying attention to that. What that means is he's not targeting us with his main guns. He's either looking at someone else, extremely unlikely since there's nobody else he can look at on the map, or he's targeting us with the torpedoes. So we're turning hard. And once again, the entire time I'm assuming Z-23 down south, closer to the ships that we just dueled and sunk. So I'm angling in towards them, expecting those torps coming from the south, and we're pursuing him. We should be able to catch the Z-23, not the most nimble of destroyers. Launch the plane because we don't want to get hit with torps. That always makes you look foolish as a cruiser, especially an agile cruiser like this, and the plane spots him. Luckily, the spotted ribbon pops up, and he's shot right there, which is acceptable on his end. He's saying, okay, I'm spotted and I might as well shoot. Okay, I understand that, but you also got to keep in mind the idea that you're kind of tapping them on the shoulder or tapping them on the side of the skull when you hit them with the gun. That wakes them up for sure. A lot of players don't really look at the map. You can consider holding your fire there. See if he just continues going slow. See if he's paying attention. But we're pulling forward here. We're turning in. Now he knows. He pulled out of the smoke there. You can see we're spotted once again. And we're actually blind firing. I'm assuming he gunned the speed boost, yeah, and is going to the east. That's really his only shot. We're moving to try and cut that off, but then we see where the shot comes from. Okay, so we got the torps there. We assume he pulled out briefly to spot us, launch torps, and then pull back into the smoke. So we should actually turn all the way to the left here. Angling in like this towards the expected launch point, good. And we got the sonar, we got the plane, so we should see torps coming. But if we want to for sure dodge them, go all the way to the left. I wanted to keep the guns in position there, and we were expecting to spot them relatively soon. That's why we continued on with the trajectory we did. But if you turn the other way, you're safe. We did get him with the torp, as you saw a moment ago, and now look at the situation. Team is on their cap. They only have 1 defender down there. Azuma, we're going to go for style points. So we're going to push into him. Normally, if this is a match that we're playing by the textbook, or if there's $1 million on the line, make sure we don't lose this. Just to be 100% safe, you wouldn't engage him here. You'd keep him between the blue ring and the white ring on the map. We keep him spotted, and he can't shoot back at us. Okay, and that's just because, let's say he gets on the base, our blue base, and the guy down south, the red ship, fends those guys off, resets the base numerous times. If I engage this Azuma right now and he sinks me, which is, there's a decent shot. He's got much more dangerous guns than I do, at least on a per salvo basis. You know, potentially he could sink us here. He could get on the base, and then if the red defender holds on long enough to reset, well, potentially they could win. Long shot, I get it, but I did want to point that out. Also pushing into the Azuma, not preferable. We're going high damage. We're not really worried about dying, especially when we see him engaging us here. We got support shots coming. We got a carrier that can reset, and our team's about to capture here. So that's why we're pushing him. But normally, we'd want to increase the range, make sure we can dodge those shots, and just wither him down. Use our superior reload and output of fire, higher DPM, to make sure that we win that fight. But style points be what they are. We're going to go ahead and try and sink him. Fortunately, they go ahead and capture the base before we can. So that's a look at the Suzuya for you and the map fault line. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. We got lots of World of Warships. It's coming all the time. Questions, comments, leave below. Love to hear from you guys, and we'll see y'all later. Peace.